Hi everybody, and welcome back to Foxglove Farm. Foxglove Farm is my farm in Stardew Valley, and so many of you have requested that I show you how my farm is doing. And I have to thank you guys because I hadn't picked up this game in so many years. So you'll notice that my handling of it is very clunky. Inventory management, hotkeys, things like that. And my farm is a little bit of a mess right now. This is my first time playing 1.6, and I am really enjoying it. There's so much extra content that I think is really fun. My favorite thing is probably the addition of the raccoons. The raccoons are so cute. But there's lots and lots more than that. But I'm just going to be focusing on showing you where my farm is at right now and getting it ready for the coming holiday in Stardew Valley. I know that in the real world the holidays are behind us, but in Stardew Valley in Pelican Town right now, everything is coming up. So I am going to go ahead and do a few things with this video updates. We're going to first just, of course, tend to all my lovely animals. Most of them are the same. You might remember them all from my earlier videos on Stardew Valley. If you've seen them, these are all the same cute little babies as before. I call all the animals babies. And most of the farm is as you probably remember. I've made some small improvements, but I thought that we could work on improving it together. So, with that said, let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and just, most of this I don't really need. I'm going to hold on to a few things, and you can kind of see, here's my horse, Nicky Lauda. You guys might remember Nicky Lauda the horse. And we're going to ride him over to check on the pigs. To get these truffles for me. Truffle pigs are awesome. Say hi to everybody. Hi cows, hi pigs. The pigs keep having babies, so you'll notice a few new pigs in the pen. You probably saw Luke, and that's Geralt of Rivia. I've had him. Pancake I've had. But the newer ones, the babies, I named after, I think I named them mostly after Final Fantasy VI characters. But yes, so the new ones are, there's Terra. So Terra, Celes, and Loke from Final Fantasy VI are their new names. I'm gonna grab some milk, and the autographers I love. I love all the things that kind of help automate the farm process because it gives you more time to explore, decorate, all those kinds of things. Put some truffles in the oil makers for some nice truffle oil, and the milk, can go in for cheese. Okay, so although I will say playing reminds me of just how much of my day is taken up by taking care of the animals. In the real world, that sounds like such a nice day, though. I would love to actually have a farm and go live this kind of bucolic life. But it's not that easy in real life, is it? So this is a fish plant. It's very new, and I put it in place of the old mushroom forest that was there. I am going to show you the process of demolition of that mushroom forest because I like the kind of bam block kind of sounds that happen when you chop down the mushrooms. It's like this beautiful hollow percussion sound. Now my bunnies are my favorites. Shh, don't tell anyone else, but I do love the bunnies the best. And I am growing them some fairy flowers, which are these beautiful pastel little flowers. I don't put a sprinkler in because I find the sprinkler kind of unsightly. I don't think the saying I'm running out of hay for them. So, to get hay in the game, you can buy it to fill your silo, or you can cut down grass. I try to grow a lot of grass on the farm here, but, and you can see mine's a little patchy right now because I do cut it down for hay, but it's also really easy to just go buy some from Marnie and fill up the silo that way instead. So, okay. I'm gonna just put a few things in the shipping bin here. Still kind of trying to decide what I want to hold on to. There's so many cool new things in the updates. I'm trying to build a particular shrine. I think the Shrine of Blessings right now, so I need to grab a lot of fiber, stones, sap, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna, because winter's almost coming in this game, I am gonna start by getting some extra hay for my silo, so I can do that by cutting the grasses. And so I'm going to just kind of do that to help prepare the animals for the winter months. In winter, the animals stay in their coops. That's, I think, where the term cooped up comes from, right? And stay cooped up. And so when they stay in their little coops or their little houses, you want to have lots of hay. Even though you can have these nice auto feeders, which are great, you still want to keep it stocked. So as long as you have hay in your silo, you don't have to worry about it. But the animals get pretty grumpy, as would I, if you don't get fed, right? So gotta stay on top of the hay situation. Here's my old little pond. I've also added this guest house. I don't co-op with anyone. My understanding is that the houses are for co-op playing, but I think that it's just cute to have a little guest house. This is my old library, which I showed off in another one of my videos, in this little house here, but the little guest house is cute. I'm thinking of doing it in either like a Japanese tea house theme or a kind of like more medieval decor inside, which I'm kind of leaning toward because I think it just complements the outside, kind of the rustic, rough-hewn stonework and that kind of thing better. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so getting a lot of grasses just to prepare. And what we're going to do is prepare for the coming winter because it is almost winter. But we can take a look inside here real quick. You can kind of see, right now it's just basic. And there's a present here, but it is apparently for someone else. I'm guessing whoever I decide to go up with. So, but yes, I'm trying to prepare the farm for the coming winter. So I'll do that. This is an area I'm kind of toying with making into like a wine and spirits testing area. Oh, and look how many truffles. They find so many truffles. Good little truffle pigs. Waffles, good work. Good job, Waffles. Keep it up. Waffles, I think, is the child of Pancake. They're very happy. When it's Waffles' birthday, they have a waffle party. Okay, so that's my rare crow collection, you might remember. And let's just trim a little bit more grass. This is sort of my little field. Also, you might remember my illicit secret diamond manufacturing outfit that I keep in my bat cave. It's very profitable though. And then my greenhouse, which I think is so pretty. I'd love to have like a nice greenhouse conservatory in real life, you know, where you can go and drink tea or whatever, read a book, and enjoy the flowers and things. that way I can have produce all year long to make into wine and jams, things like that, jellies and jams, So there's ancient fruit, there's hot peppers, corn. I like renewable crops that grow again and again. I think eventually I'll put some grapevines in here too, because kind of going with the winery idea. But for winter, it's nice to have access to all these different kinds of fruits and things. Okay, so the money isn't too much of a concern anymore. The farm just makes good money, and I don't really have to do much, but I like to keep on top of it. It's still satisfying to ship a bunch too. Makes you feel good. So, my house, I did do a lot of expansions too. It is still not really very decorated. This is my messy basement. Please forgive me, but I'm just gonna look for some inventory stuff here. I'm gonna put the fiber away. I'm holding on to that. Just make some room in my inventory. Don't need the coal. I don't need powder melons yet. Those grow in winter. Okay. So, anyway, don't judge the house too much. I'm in the process of decorating it. Some of it's kind of held over from before. You can see I've added on as many rooms as I can, like a little fireplace study, a little library. This is the kids' room, and it was really neat to log in and see the children when I first the last time I was really playing this game. I didn't have a child in real life. So now I feel especially connected to them. This room I'm working on as like a room for my kitty cats. I still have Mr. Baby is my original cat in this game because he was orange. But now that I can adopt animals, I adopted a gray kitty who looks like my real life cat, Etienne. So that was Mr. Baby over there, and Etienne sleeping up there by the greenhouse right now. So I love always the way the farm looks at nighttime, and it allows me to kind of play with lights. I'm thinking about placing some braziers, maybe a brazier there, and maybe a brazier on the other side in the gravel there. It's really pretty to be able to play with light, and I think that the light in this game is done really nicely. It's really nice how it plays off of the environmental elements like leaves or little bits of like debris that floats in the air, or the butterflies or things like that, fireflies at nighttime in certain seasons. So, okay. There we go. Maybe up here. One thing that still kind of drives me crazy is the inability to always center items. Sometimes it gets really tricky, and not being able to center things can make me crazy. But with decorating, it's sometimes better if it looks a little bit more random and organic anyway, right? So, where do we want to put these little lanterns? They're so charming. And I just like to take a look at how it looks at nighttime. This over here is just a little fire pit area, I imagine, where we can kind of come and have marshmallows, tell stories with my kids, or whoever comes over. And that's my walk of trees still, my apiary area, or my bee area. And yeah, I think the farm is, it's looking cute. got a long way to come both inside and outside. I have ideas of what I want to do. But let's go to sleep for the night. So you can see day 25 of fall, year 7. That's where I'm at in the game. But we're going to jump actually back in time real quick, just so you can see the process and hear the process of cleaning out my forest. So when I first came back to the farm, of course, it was quite messy, and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do to improve it, to make it bigger. But I had kind of let this mushroom forest grow, because I think it's so whimsical here. However, I've decided that it takes up a lot of room, and I don't really need that many mushrooms, you know? So I'm thinking less is more. I'm going to leave the big full-grown mushrooms for my bunnies that add some color and height, and like I said, some shade for them. But otherwise, let's just chop all of this down, because, yeah. And again, you get that beautiful hollow percussion, that kind of thunk, 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 thunk sound. I just find it pleasant. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Off to the side, you can see I'm kind of toying with this area here, like I said before. I'd like to make it into sort of like a tasting area for some of the juices and oils and wines and things like that we make on the farm. So I thought that would be kind of cute. It's functioning as a really kind of derelict vineyard right now. It's kind of a mess, but we'll clean that up too. There's little mushrooms like that. Just gotta clear them all out. And then the big ones. They really do propagate and spread pretty quickly too, so I guess we've got to kind of take them all out for now. And as you saw, I ended up trying to make this more of a central area for my fishing pond. I don't particularly, I guess I don't do a whole lot of fishing in the game beyond what's necessary. Fishing always makes me feel so guilty. I do think that you can put the fish that you catch now into your fish tanks. It's kind of cute. But I'm sure they're happier out in the water, so. Okay. But I thought it would be a nice little pavilion and give it a more kind of finished, polished, hardscape feel to it. So, I've also kind of been toying with the idea of making the whole farm into like a kind of a resort or something with little mini cabins and experiences. So I thought obviously a little fishing pond could be nice for that. Mostly though, I just like a water feature. I know that if you start over now, you can choose from lots of different farm landscapes, including one with a lot of water. But when I first started here, those weren't options. So, okay. So we're skipping ahead a little bit here. I'm just gonna say hi to my family. Also, as far as romance options, they've added so many different people since I married Elliot. He's a good husband, but sometimes he's a little much. But that's, you know, sorry. Also, sometimes he leaves the kids alone. And, oh, thanks, Caroline. Well, here's a vegetable from the little garden I keep out back. That's so sweet. But I'll probably just ship it. Sorry, Caroline. She doesn't have to know. Don't tell Caroline. Just potato. There we go. So, yeah, sometimes Elliot, who my understanding in the division of labor here is he's supposed to kind of be the stay-at-home dad, but some days he just goes off to the beach. And I find the kids standing around in the house by themselves. That can't be right. That can't be right. He also went on a book tour recently. You know, but he has dreams too. Dream Big Elliot. It's alright. I mean, leaving the kids at home alone is not alright, Elliot. You gotta tell me so I can, come watch them. Alright. So, you can see though that winter has come. We've skipped ahead to winter. We're just gonna say good morning to all the animals really quickly here. And again, now that it's winter, they are cooped up in their little coops. Let's see, we've got feathers, eggs, and put that there, and put some eggs up. So I can put these eggs into mayonnaise. I have not that many food processing devices. I suppose I should just make more. But again, I don't really need the money that much in the game, and so, yeah. Good morning, Nikki Lauda. Okay, so Nikki Lauda and I are gonna go check on the pigs, and we're gonna get them all shut up cozy for the winter, so I'm shutting their barn door. But they're having a little party, first day of winter for them. And the same. These cheeses, we can always age them to make them extra nice, and then there. I might end up selling off some of these pigs. I thought I took off their ability to have babies, pig IUDs, but they keep having babies, so obviously some of them are still turned on. That's fine. I mean turned on like they're you can turn on and off their ability to have babies, but yeah, that's enough talk about babies. Never mind. Okay, they keep having babies. Okay, so let's take the bunnies and make sure they're nice and cozy in their little bunny coop for the bunny hutch. It's more of a hutch for bunny hutch. Make sure they're all squared away for the season. And you can see that their mushrooms have lost their heads for the winter. Don't we all? Sometimes, the cold months. Okay. And then, so you can see where the fish pond is at. You can see that I think that the farm looks so beautiful in winter. It's also a really fun time in the game because you don't have as many farm chores, and so it's a good time to do mining, exploring, crafting, collecting, foraging, fighting monsters, that kind of thing. You know, like you do in winter. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I guess you don't need to water the tree if you plant a new tree. Okay, so I've got some cloth and got some things to take to the shipping bin here. And then, yes, I would like to start trying to make the farm festive for the holiday season in Stardew. I think it's the Feast of the Winter Star is the big holiday, but I think it just so happens to fall on Christmas. And it's basically Christmas. They show Santa and the reindeer and everything going overhead that night in the night sky. Anyway, okay. So once again, this is my gnarly little basement. I kind of wish I could finish the basement more, but it doesn't seem like you can put any wallpapers or flooring or anything down in your creepy basement. It just has to stay creepy. But that's okay. We like creepy. So, I'm gonna start looking at some decor for the house though, because the house really needs, one, it needs a makeover, and two, I've expanded it so much, and so it's still kind of willy-nilly all over the place. So let's look through some wallpaper. There's so many wallpapers and floors that you can use now. And let's see. It's hard to choose now that I have all the options. I used to have to go to Pierre's every day and just see what kind of wallpapers were there, but I now have the catalog. Woohoo, I feel so empowered, so I can choose anything. But that's a lot to choose from. I kind of like these. They kind of look like windows. But let's see what else there is. There's so much. What's this one? That's kind of cute with the pastel colors and the bricks. There's some sort of gradient, ombre type of effects. Some flat colors. Some more graphic ones. Stripes. More stripes. Patterns. They've even introduced these sort of mid-century modern, I would say late mid-century modern furniture and wallpapers, which I think is fun. Let's see, what about this? Maybe let's give it a try. And for flooring, I'm thinking that I would like to try to do, I want to make over the pet's room, the cat room right now, but I am getting I'm gonna get the kids a dog for Christmas in the game. So I just want to make sure that the pet room looks really nice for the kitties and the doggy. And I was thinking again, sort of like a tea house kind of theme, or the way it is now is sort of like an outdoor theme. It's meant to look like it's outside, kind of like an indoor-outdoor effect for them. Because, I think animals love fresh air, being out in nature. But, I don't know, I like the idea of something a little simpler and more refined than that, too. So let's just try some things. That's one of the nice things about having the wallpaper catalog right here. We can look at the flooring options. There's some wood colors, some deeper colors, some lighter ones. Lots of textures too. And like I said, they've introduced like a shag carpet kind of thing. I think with maybe the modern collection. Let's see. Maybe this. I think playing so much House Flipper has kind of spoiled me in terms of the options I want to have, but I think the limitations also, though, can be kind of nice with the kind of sprite pixel design it gives you. It gives you some limits to what you can do, and those can be helpful, if you're a creative type. Maybe having some limits and clear expectations is helpful to you in creating. I know for me they are. So there's some very seasonal kind of wallpapers, which that's also really, really cute. But let's see. I want to go with something a little more timeless, I think. Okay, let's give these ones a try. And like I said, with having the catalog right there, you can try things, and if you don't like them, you can just change them. So here's the room as it is now. Just meant to look kind of like, here's some grass, and okay, so let's take a look. That's kind of nice. I think it does look like, I think maybe it's meant to emulate kind of like a greenhouse effect, right? I always think of the greenhouse in Howl's Moving Castle. That's kind of a fun shag pastel color. It kind of looks like grass, but like frosty grass. Okay, let's put this one. Which one do we like? That one to me looks more like a screen you would see in, like a tea room. The other one looks a little bit more like paints on a window. Let's take a look. We go down here. Okay, back over to the catalog. I think I like the look of the kind of, oopsie, there we go. See, I'm really rusty with just the controls and things. I think I like the more natural, almost tea room look for this. Also, if you think about like a cat cafe, it's nice to think about having a place where you can just sit and play with your animals and maybe have something warm to drink or something to read. Also a place where the kids, my kids in the game, can go play with the animals. Let's see. And then flooring, though, this is my big question. Do we want to go for something? I wish there was something that really looked like tatami. There's one, I think, there's a couple here that might pass, but let's see. Okay. So, okay. So, put those in the hotbar and let's take a look. Yeah, I think that looks, especially for this room kind of off by itself, I think it really looks cute. Oh, that's pretty. Almost reminds me of like a sakura blossom, both in color and in the pattern. There's my daughter running around. It seems weird to say my daughter since in real life, I only have a son. Not only I have a son, and he's incredible. I just mean saying my daughter is weird. If you've ever become a parent, the first time somebody refers to you as like, oh, are you the mom? Or if you get the first time you get to say my child or my son or my daughter is like a really surreal and cool moment. Okay, but what I'm thinking is, so speaking of children, so my son in real life loves space. He's really into NASA and all the different planets and galaxies and astronomy in general. We have a telescope and everything. So I told him I'd make his room in the game look like a space theme. And so far he likes this. But he said that the girl should have her own space. And he was very clear that the space should not be as fancy as his. He said because she's not real and he is. So fair points. I also want to redo this library. Right now I'm just kind of trying some different things, to see what they'll look like. I'm not super satisfied. I'm not super satisfied with where any of it is. But I get to kind of experiment now, so you can see a lot of my, I need to go through all these chests though, because I have lots of extra things just stored away. They're all like little junk drawers, or all those little things where you are too scared to throw away. You think, oh, I might need this one day. But then that day never ever comes, and then you just inevitably one day just throw away everything in the junk drawer. Okay, so I'm trying to think for, especially for the library, like what would look cozy and classic. That could be nice, this kind of navy. My real home in real life is very modern, and it is kind of a mid-century modern, but it's a very minimal modernism. And I prefer, for the colors that I do use, I tend to like more muted colors. I don't like a lot of deep reds, oranges, yellows. I tend to like cooler palettes in general. But in this game, with how kind of cozy it all is, how woodsy it all is, with all the natural woods, and just the setting in general, I think that it is more rustic and warm to use these deeper colors and hues anyway, and some of the warmer ones as well. So, going for something really different than I would in real life. I wonder if you like to have kind of rich, warm palettes in your home or cooler ones. I like to do pops of color with things like art and decorative objects and even furniture because those are easy things to trade out. Um, whereas, things like walls and paint, colors, finishes, marbles, tiles, things like that, I go a little bit more classic or a little bit more clean for. So, not sure about that. I don't think so. I think that deep blue could be really pretty here. I'm not totally sure about all of it yet. But I am sure that the Christmas tree looks really pretty. Or the winter star tree, the spirit tree, I forget what they call them. And I think what I'll try to do is get the house decorated for Christmas time or for the winter celebration. Let's just take one more peek here though at the wallpapers and things like that. Again, I just updated to having the catalog, so I'm still just really enjoying the freedom of it. Instead of having to hoard up wallpapers and things like that in the past. If I would make a mistake, I would be kind of out of luck. Oh, what about this one? Maybe just a classic white could be nice. And let's see. What am I hoping for? Just a little wallpaper. I think in real life wallpaper in the last decade made a real comeback for a while. And I think that's kind of lovely. I am always afraid of the commitment of it. But I think it can be really, really fun. It feels so old world. And you can play around with scale and color. But how about just white? I don't know. I like the kind of white wall, but I think it's a little out of place. I've tried to make this room, a little bit more, looking woodsy and rustic to go with the rest of the house. But, go here, and the other thing with the furniture is some things you can kind of reorient in how they're configured and some you can't. So some you can change their direction and some you can't. And that makes some of them a little bit difficult to use, but I think if we have some nice decorations, plants, and things like that, I love these lanterns. I love little sources of light. I think any home can look nicer with those, so bonsai. Ooh, bonsai could be nice. A decorative trash can. How lovely. Maybe, let's see, fish tanks, bookcases, brick, stone, wall sconces, maybe that. Maybe this kind of sconce. Plasma TVs. I don't put TVs or any of the modern looking appliances in the home sphere if I can help it. I think they break the illusion a little bit. Tables, 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 tables. There's winter, dark, birch, modern, plain it is. Okay. Let's try a few more things here. And then I'll work on decorating and show you the result. See? No fishing in the house. No fishing in the house. That's just a rule we have. That's cool. That kind of looks like the moon or something, you know? I think that works. I'm trying to find a few things that might look kind of cool and modern in a space room. Unfortunately, you can't change out the beds, especially for the kids, and that is, I think, one of the things that is most, I don't want to say frustrating, but it takes away from the decorating a little because these beds just feel so out of place with some of the rest of the furniture. There are a couple bed upgrades you can do. You can get the kind of mid-century bed for yourself. I don't think you can give those to the kids. You can do like a tropical, leafy kind of bed, which is fun, but it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really fit with my decor. And then I think if you marry Penny, which I did come close, I really thought about it. Penny is so lovely. If you marry her, she, I think, will provide you with more bed options. They used to be in the catalog, I think. But the 1.6 update, I believe, took them out of it, if I'm correct. So that's what I've read. So I'm going to work on the farm, getting it ready for the holidays, and gotta shut that gate. And getting the house a little bit of a makeover. And then we can check back in and I'll show you where we're at with it. And I'll come over to my pond. I just like to see how pretty the farm looks at night in winter time. The grasses are so like blue-green and icy and pretty. Okay. So I welcome you to a snowy day. Getting really close to the feast of the winter star now. And, oh, is that a tan walking around? Okay, sorry, I'm not good at writing letters. Thanks, Clint. And put some things in. That's okay. Shut those off. But I wanted to show you a snowy day on the farm, and you can see that we tried to put up some decorations to make it festive. You'll notice some snowmen rarecrows around. Gotta give water to my kitties, of course. And there's a Tian. Stardew Valley, a Tian anyway. And so you'll notice some trees and things like that. I'll just go collect the eggs and mayo real quick. Oh, like that in there. Put the eggs in. And say hi to the cuties. And actually, you can see that we really need to get some more grass and hay going on here, right? So, just getting everything done for the morning. You can see we put in some candy canes there and more snowmen. And we're just going to do a really quick check. Uh-oh, everyone's mad at me. Total. Yeah, everyone's upset. Can you see why? Because we ran out of hay, I guess. So I have a bunch of very grumpy pigs and some grumpy cows and one grumpy goat. Is that the name of in Mythic Quest, the game they were trying to make Grumpy Goat or something? Anyway. So you can see that what I do have is a newly built wine tasting area, wine, juice, oil, whatever you fancy. I'm growing my powder berries here right now to show them off since we're making a special powder berry wine for the holidays. And we'll just check on the bunnies who are also... Oh, these are the... Oh, I love all the bunnies. Poor James, he's mad. A lot of the bunnies originally were named after the Top Gear team. So I've got the Top Gear bunnies and friends. Put that on the loom. Okay. I just love it when the snow is falling, though. It doesn't snow where I live, so I especially love the snowy season in Stardew. So nice. And you can see, again, I'm going to cut down a little of this grass to make hay. Oh, that's my dog, by the way. I adopted this dog. I named him Fox because he kind of looks like a little fox. And Foxglove Farm needs a fox. And planted some tea leaves here next to Nikki Lauda. And maybe I'll take Nikki Lauda down to Marnie's to just grab some emergency hay to get us through the winter. There's my raccoon friends. They're my favorite. Look how excited with their floofy tails. Hi, Mr. Raccoon. Hello, Miss Raccoon. Mrs. Raccoon. Oh, you want some dried powder melon yourself, huh? We'll have to see about that. Okay, so gonna get out of Marnie's, and there she is. Oops. Jess is in the door. Let's let her through. You'll also notice that I have some earmuffs on. In real life, I have to wear earmuffs even when it's not snowing, even if it's just a little bit cold out. I get really bad pain inside my ear canal when it's, we're just gonna get a ton of hay here. When it's really cold, does that happen to anyone else? Anyway, earmuffs help. But I thought they just looked cute for winter in Stardew Valley, so... Okay, that should do it. And then what we do is we go up and we're going to put this fresh hay into the silo. Just go through the tree walk, my little cherry tree walk that looks so pretty in springtime. Okay, so I just go up to my towers here and put, here we go, added 100 pieces. So that should keep the animals fed for a few more days. Okay, so let's take a look and, oh, actually, here, let me just drop off a couple of these products. That too, okay. Now let's go take a look at what we've done on the inside. So, this is where my house is now. Got lots of cheese ready, but it's aging down here. And so I'm just going to put some of this cheese in the barrels there too. Grab that. We can sell these cheeses. Okay. So with chores taken care of, you can come see the house is looking more festive, and I like how, outside the farm looks Christmassy, and now inside it's starting to look Christmassy, so we've got our tree up. And you can see this is a little nook I'm working on, just a little spot. I don't know, like all my little spots, like for reading, talking, having a snack, or playing a board game. We've got our Christmas tree corner and our little kitchen. You can see all the garlands, the little lighted garlands everywhere, which I think are nice, and some winter banners, the kind of snowy blue and white snow banners, I think are a cute touch for winter. I have redone the bedroom to look a little bit more MCM, a little bit more mid-century modern. Again, this feels like a little bit later mid-century. And then here we have the finished pet room. So as scratching post, a little, that's like a little place to sit, and it's my husband's reading nook. I do really like that. I haven't seen all the nooks that your spouses bring, but each spouse brings a different nook. I made this into the bedroom for my daughter. There's a jukebox, and it's kind of pastel and fun. And then my son's room now is very spacey with space portals looking out to the stars. And I feel like the carpet looks kind of like planets as well. And I even got him a fish tank in here. And I think that it's all working together, fairly well, except for the bed. He's got a crystal and a bonsai, and then it feeds into this common area, which is a classroom slash playroom for the kids. There's an iridium fireplace now, which I think is really cozy, and an amethyst geode, a little old-time retro radio, and a big fish tank, which I think is cute. I've caught some different kinds of animals, or some marine animals, shellfish, fish. This plays music if you tap at it, which is kind of cool. So, I don't know, they can learn a little bit about music and that kind of thing. And then we come back through. So, I think in architecture they call it a Jack and Jill style room. I don't think they're very popular anymore, but I can chill in my new library, by the way. So, the new library, I'm still trying to decide between these two carpets, but I've gone with a little bit more of a modern feel. By modern, I don't mean contemporary, I mean modern as in modernism, mid-century modernism again. But I'm still trying to decide between these two rugs here. I think, again, I don't really love oranges, reds, things like that. But I do think that maybe it works a little bit better in this space. It's very earthy, warm, cozy, and so. And then you can see we have Christmas garlands up on the wall here too, which is nice. Then I found that I could really bring this room together with this piano, which I think is fun. And I just love the sound of hopping on and off of it. It's like, it's that kind of popping sound. Concerned Ape, the creator of this game, has done such a nice job with all the sound effects, the foley. They're all, very relaxing, to be honest. There's my son. I'm pretending he's chasing me right now. Come get me. Come get me. He really just wants me to get out of his way, though. That's what he really wants. Then we have our little dining table set up for a feast. A little area to get back by that fireplace. You'll notice I have a lot of fireplaces. I love fire. Not in a destructive way, in a cozy way, but so this is kind of where my farm is at, and I was thinking if you guys want, I would do an update of what it's going to look like in the warmer months as well, but for now I think this kind of gives you an idea of where it's at, what I'm enjoying. I would really love to hear your thoughts on your favorite new features and updates, things that you like, things that you can do, because I'm still, learning it all. I'm exploring the island, all kinds of things, so tell me what you like about it. Thank you so much for returning to Foxglove Farm with me. Let's take a moment to recognize the achievements of some of the cute animals who have made this video possible. The bunnies, including Richard, James, the Stig, Jeremy, Benicula, Ayrton, and Jensen Bunny. The cows and the pigs and the goat, including Raleigh, Rowdy, Goat the Fake, Pancake, L. Hamilton, Geralt of Rivia, Waffles, Celes, Loke, Terra, and Toto. And of course, we can't do any of it without the chickens and duck, including Valtteri, Rajkachik, El Chapo, Pastor, and Little Evil, and of course Kim Katsuragi the duck. Special thanks to Niki Lauda the horse, Fox the dog, Etienne the cat, and Mr. Baby the baby.